Laimi, kindly lead us in prayer. Good morning, class. Before we start, clean your surroundings and please fix and arrange your chairs properly. Who is absent today? Very good. Give yourself a very good clap. Yesterday, you've learned about the ancient Filipinos, who are considered the first Filipinos. Kali? Yes, Indios, correct. Very good. Where did the first Filipinos came from? Lander? Very good. Spain. Correct. To start our lesson, we will have a game. Do you want to play a game? Alright, the title of our game is Ayusin Mo Ako. I will divide you into two groups. Each group should have two representatives to play the game. I prepared letters for you to arrange it. All you have to do is to arrange the letter to formulate a word. Are we all clear? Let's start the game. Are we done? Okay, so the words are Magellan, battle, colonialism, imperialism, and Limasawa. Very good, children. Give yourself a very good clap. Our topic is all about Spanish colonization in the Philippines. Colonialism is a practice or policy of control by one people or power over other people or areas, often by establishing colonies and generally with the aim of economic dominance. Imperialism is a policy or ideology of extending rule over peoples and other countries. For extending political and economic access, power and control, often through employing hard power, especially military force but also soft power. The compass and carabal are the basic equipment which help the travelers to perform the search of new land. What are basic equipment that help the travelers to perform the search of new land again? Angel? Yes, compass and carabal. Very good. Competition between Spain and Portugal. Treaty of Tordesillas, June 7, 1494. Agreement between Spain and Portugal, aimed at settling conflicts over lands newly discovered or explored by Christopher Columbus and other late 15th century voyagers. When is the agreement between Spain and Portugal that is called Treaty of Tordesillas? Ivan. Yes, June 7, 1494. Very good. Expedition of Ferdinand Magellan. On March 16, 1521, Magellan's expedition landed on Homoron Island in the Philippines. He was the first European to reach the islands. Raja Humabon of Cebu was friendly with Magellan and embraced Christianity, but their enemy Lapu-Lapu was not. Humabon wanted Magellan to kill Lapu-Lapu while Magellan wanted to convert Lapu-Lapu into Christianity. On April 17, 1521, Magellan sailed to Mactan and ensuing battle killed Magellan by the natives led by Lapu-Lapu. Out of the 5 ships and more than 300 men who left on the Magellan expedition in 1519. Only one ship, the Victoria, and 18 men returned to Seville, Spain on September 6, 1522. Nevertheless, the said expedition was considered historic because it marked the first circumnavigation of that the world was round. What is Ferdinand Magellan known for? Lucas. Yes, he is credited with masterminding the first expedition to circumnavigate the world. Very good. Juan Sebastian de Elcano, the master of ship conception, took over the command of the expedition after the death of Magellan and captained the ship Victoria back to Spain. Who is the master of ship again? Gwen. Correct. Juan Sebastian de Elcano. Magellan and his crew dropped anchor of the uninhabited Homonon Island, then known as Humumu, on March 16, 1521, where they stayed for 8 days before proceeding with their journey to what is now known as Philippines. The first Mass in the Philippines was celebrated in Limasawa Island on Easter Sunday, March 13, 1521. It was when Ferdinand Magellan landed on the said island in the midst of his voyage around the world. Where did the first Mass was held? JM? Yes, JM. Yes, correct. Limasawa Island. The Battle of Mactan was a fierce flash fought in the Philippines on 27 April 1521. The colonization of the Philippines. The actual work of colonization began in 1565 when Miguel Lopez de Legazpi concluded treaties of friendship with the native chief. Then he proceeded to establish a Spanish town on Cebu Island to convert the people to Roman Catholicism. He established a Spanish land to convert people to Roman Catholicism. Mark. Correct. Miguel Lopez de Legazpi. Spain's foremost aim in the Philippines was to spread their religion. For this purpose, thousands of Catholic missionaries belonging to various orders came to the Philippines. The contribution of this mission work toward the advancement of education, culture, and architecture in general was enormous. Although in later years, the friars came to be considered as the opponents of the enlightenment of the people. It was also at this point when the Spanish missionaries tried to eliminate the ancient written literature of the Filipinos. Because of the destruction of ancient writings in their eagerness to erase the previous cultural records of the Philippines, only the orally transmitted literature has survived. The biggest legacy to the Philippines is the Roman Catholicism, which the people embraced readily from the beginning. The missionary zeal to make the country an outpost of the Catholicism in spite of the fact that even with the exploitation, the Philippines was a financial liability as a colony. What is the effect of Spanish colonization in the Philippines? Monica. Yes, because Spain controlled the Philippines so early and for so long, they were massive influence to the modern Filipino culture. The biggest influence is still seen to this day is religion. Exactly, very good. In general, the lasting impact of Spanish rule in the Philippines was a religious transformation which had a vital impact on local cultures as well as on the growth of national culture over the past 50 years. Meron tayong evaluation. Dito sa A, meron tayong identification. Write your answers in your notebook. Dito naman sa B, write an essay that expresses an attitude to the concept of colonizing other land or colonization from perspective of the colonizer and perspective of the occupied by colonizers. Meron naman tayong rubrics. Content, 6 points. Organization, 6 points. Grammar, 3 points. Total of 15 points. At meron naman tayong assignment. Write a letter for the Spanish. Discuss the Spanish colonization of the Philippines and express your thoughts on the situation.